Imagine looking at the person you love and realizing their habits, their memories, and even their touch are slightly off, as if they've been replaced by a perfect physical copy hiding in plain sight. That specific paranoia is the premise of Imitadora, a 2017 hit where singer Romeo Santos aggressively interrogates his partner, demanding hyper-specific details to prove she isn't an actor. But looking closely at how this track is actually built reveals a structural timeline, one that stretches back long before the high-budget synthesizers and the stadium lights. In July 2017, Imitadora achieved a statistical milestone that most Latin tracks never reach, climbing to the top of the Billboard Latin airplay charts and staying there for weeks. To get there, it had to dethrone Luis Fonsi's Despacito, the most played song on the planet at the time. It was a massive victory for a style of music that, just a few decades earlier, was socially blacklisted and effectively banned from the airwaves of its home country. A sound born in rural poverty managed to navigate that intense stigma, eventually dominating the same global airwaves that once strictly excluded it. To find the starting point, you have to strip away the electronic production and listen to the sharp, syncopated melody of the acoustic guitar. This is the requinto, the traditional foundation of the genre. These guitar-based rhythms circulated through the Dominican countryside during the 30-year rule of Rafael Trujillo, an era when the country was culturally isolated and heavily censored. After Trujillo was assassinated in 1961, thousands of rural workers migrated to the capital, Santo Domingo, settling in the shantytowns that were springing up around the city's margins. The city's upper class heard these rural guitars and rejected the sound, calling the music Bachata, a slur used to label the musicians as vulgar country bumpkins. This stigma trapped the genre in neighborhood bars and brothels. The lyrics became raw and often bitter, reflecting a world of social isolation that would remain underground for decades. By the 1990s, the center of the music shifted to New York City, the destination for a new wave of working-class Dominican migrants. Inside these apartments, families kept traditional bachata records on repeat, while outside, the streets of the Bronx were echoing with hip-hop and R&B. The children of these migrants grew up in both worlds, becoming fluent in their parents' traditional rhythms and New York's urban aesthetics. This is where Romeo Santos entered. He took the traditional bongo and guitar rhythms and fused them directly with the smooth, melodic swagger of contemporary R&B. He also shifted the perspective. He moved away from the raunchier themes of the past, writing songs of emotional vulnerability and romance that appealed to a massive global audience. By singing in both Spanish and English, this bicultural fusion finally lifted the genre out of its historical poverty stigma and into the pop mainstream. You can hear the result of that decades-long journey in the opening of Imitadora. It starts with jarring, high-budget synthesizers that sound like they belong in a futuristic thriller. This diagram shows how that heritage is preserved. The electronic synth line is precisely synced with the traditional acoustic guitar track. Both are running at 126 beats per minute, maintaining the genre's signature feeling of amargue, or bitterness. Throughout the song, Santos demands to know the color of the room where they first met, or the details of their first kiss, searching for the person he once knew. That search for a fake version of a lover mirrors the tension inside the music itself. With these heavy electronic layers, the question isn't just about the woman. It's about whether this stadium-sized sound is still the real thing. But the traditional heartbeat never stops. The modern polish doesn't replace the original guitar work. It simply expands the space around it. The proof of this evolution is found in the scale of the audience. Romeo Santos isn't just playing for small neighborhood bars anymore. He's filling the world's most famous stadiums. In 2014, he sold out 2 shows at Yankee Stadium within hours, a feat previously achieved only by legacy superstars like Paul McCartney and Madonna. Bachata didn't become an imposter of itself. It weaponized the tools of global pop to force the rest of the world to listen to its story. Listen to Imitadora again. Beneath the synthesizers, you can hear the rural fields, the Bronx streets, and the evolution of a sound that refused to stay hidden.